one of the things that I wanted to talk about today is about certification, what it is and what it is not. I would like to ask, excuse me, as you're considering certification, no matter what it is, there are so many different types of certification that exist. Some are public, for the public sector, cities, counties, states, and the federal government, but there's also private certifications as well. How you determine which one is right for you is who your target customer is. Whoever you intend to sell your product or service to, you need to find out where they are. Are they in the city? Are they in the county? Are they public sector? Or are they private sector? And when I talk about private sector, I'm talking about corporations. We're talking about Accenture and Allstate and IBM and Microsoft. More than 500 corporations are looking for diverse suppliers, which women are considered. And the slide that I have here, it just shows you some of the public certifications that are federally funded. And then there's also, in the two that are red, are the two certifications that we actually deliver from our offices. Next slide, please. So we belong to the WeBank Enterprise National Council Network. That is a national network. So becoming certified in any one of the 14 regional partners means that you are certified across the country. So we do not only WeBank certification for corporate America. WeBank has been around since 1997 when corporate America realized that women businesses are the fastest growing and still the fastest growing in America today. You are their consumers, you make the financial decisions in the household, but you are also the fastest growing business owners in this country. And that means that the corporate America wants to make sure that their supply chain is diverse and represents the business owners that we have in our country, because small business, as you've heard probably throughout the day, employs more people in this country than large business. What does that mean? It means that local economic development depends on small business. It means that you buying stuff from corporations is what's important. So it's not even just a nice to have, it's economic development information, economic development strategy that they use to work with small businesses, including women-owned. This happens to be a map of the 14 different territories that WeBank covers. Not only do we cover the United States, Alaska, and Hawaii, but we also cover Guam, the American Samoas, and Puerto Rico. Next slide, please. So I am president of the New York Network, which is all of New York, northern New Jersey through Monmouth and Morris counties, and the southern tier of Connecticut, as well as the greater DMV. We say the greater DMV because it's all of Maryland, all of DC, and it's all of Virginia, not just Nova, not just Northern Virginia as well. So what you're looking at here is what we do. We're all about supporting women-owned businesses, whether you're a startup, and you have your business started through multi-billion-dollar businesses around our country. Next slide, please. So you come to us, you get your business certified. That says that you're 51% owned, operated, controlled, and managed by one woman or a group of women. But we don't just do the certification and then say goodbye. We actually support you in so many different ways. So the ways that we support you are connecting you to opportunities for growth, by connecting you to the resources you need to manage your business, the information, as well as some of the advocacy organizations that we have. We also connect you through engagement, getting you involved in the organization, because you know you need to be visible, you need to be seen, you need to be heard, so that we understand what your issues are, what your challenges are, where are the gaps in you and your growth, so that we can combine those and that we can answer those questions for you. Next slide, please. So locally, the good thing about our network, as I said, we're a local organization with a national presence. So not only are those core opportunities happening at a national level, they're also happening at a local level. This slide is very busy. Don't worry, we can give it to you. We have a table that's outside that can answer any of your questions about certification or the types of courses, the types of programs that we offer. But our programs give you business content that you will need to grow your business, lead your business, and your employees. We give you information that will connect you to the community of business owners so that you have someone to talk to. When you have questions about business, you have someone who, like yourself, understands what it is to be an entrepreneur. You can't talk to your family members. They don't necessarily know. You can't talk to folks who are in corporate America. They have so many more resources supporting them than you do. But you can talk to another business owner. We work to build that community at a local level as well as a national level. And then finally, we also connect you to growth opportunities. Growth opportunities come from you having an opportunity to talk about your business so that you can contract, right? Get a contract, whether it's on the federal level with the federal agencies or on the corporate level with corporate America or with other business owners like yourself. There are so many different opportunities in our network to talk to other business owners about doing business together. Next slide, please. This just talks about the opportunities for us. Since I am president and CEO of 2 of the regional partners of WeBank, of which there's 14 you saw on the map, that once you belong to us here in the DMV, you are really considered part of DMV and part of New York. So the opportunities are twofold. Right now we have about 1,000 businesses that are certified in the DMV, but there's about 1,700 that are certified in New York. It's a bigger network. So you're talking about 2,700 other businesses that you have the opportunity to work with. We certify all different industries. Our top 5 industries include construction. One of my favorite industries is a business that actually coats bridges and tunnels, and another business that actually flies drones. There are so many different industries that use drones at this point in time. But yes, we have all different industries. So anything you could possibly imagine from an industry sector is part of our network, locally and nationally. Nationally, there are 19,000 businesses that are certified as WeBank certification. I don't know how many are women-owned small business, but as you saw in the slide earlier, that we are one of the third-party certifiers for the federal government, women-owned small business program. And when you go through our certification process for WeBank, we also do the women-owned small business certification. Next slide, please. So this is just some of the list of benefits for being certified at the national level. Women Business Enterprise National Council. Even though we say WeBank, like there's an A, it is Women Business Enterprise National Council, and you have the opportunity, and COVID taught us, right, that through virtual programming, we're able to connect our businesses across the country. So not only do you learn how to grow locally and regionally, but you also learn how to grow nationally. WeBank now has 540 corporate members who are part of their network, looking to connect with our businesses, looking to develop our businesses, and they support us financially, but they also support us by development opportunities. Locally, we have about 93 corporations who work with us in the local area who want to do the same thing. So there's very, very many different opportunities that are here. One of the things on one of the bullets talks about the woman-owned logo. Walmart and WeBank, about, I want to say 6 years ago, did a research study about buyers' habits, and learned that when someone knows that a business is woman-owned, that they navigate, right? They migrate towards that product or service before they buy something else. So we have developed a woman-owned logo that says that you have been certified by WeBank. It goes on your product or your service, and folks gravitate towards it. So one of the benefits that we have is not only do you carry the WeBank seal, which is nationally known through all corporations, but you also can carry the women-owned logo, which is really consumer-facing. You probably have seen it in Walmart, in Macy's, in Target, in all of the stores that you can imagine, including Whole Foods, that is right across the street, or CVS. You've seen the women-owned logo, and that means that folks have been certified by our network. Next slide. So the process is a little daunting, because we have to make sure that when we tell our corporate members that you are a woman-owned business, that we have the documentation that will stand up in court, right? If you had to go to court for any reason to protect yourself and your business, you would have that documentation in our database. So the documentation is really about ownership, control, management, and really expertise. You have to have 51% ownership. You have to have 51% control. Control is voting control, right? So you're talking about who has the last say, no matter what, it has to be the female 51% owner or owners. From a expertise standpoint, you have to have the expertise to make all of the major and minor decisions in your company. Now, you may not do everything in your company. You may not manage it day to day any longer because you've grown too large. If you're a large company, a billion-dollar company, you're not managing at the front level, but you're still making the major decisions about your company. And that's why we say that that's okay, okay? But you have to have the expertise to make the decisions. You can't be an electrical company and know nothing about electricity, right? You can't be a construction company and know nothing about construction. The operations portion of a business is not the owner's control, the expertise. You have to understand the bottom line to be able to talk to corporate America. We do the Women-Owned Small Business Certification. There are a few things that are different between the WeBank certification and the Women-Owned Small Business Certification. So even though you get to submit your documentation at the same time, we do the WeBank certification first. And then once you are certified there, because 99% of what we ask for is the same for the federal government, then we actually do your women-owned small business. So within 2 weeks of your WeBank certification, you have your women-owned small business as well. And I'm proud to say that WeBank is the largest third-party certifier for the federal government. I think that's it for those. Next slide, please. It does cost. So I've got to pay my teams, I've got to pay for the space that we're in. Depending on your annual gross sales, there's a cost to the certification. Not for the women-owned small business, but for WeBank. So if you apply for both, it's only one certification fee. And on the WeBank side, we do certify you every year because things change very quickly. On the women-owned small business side, they've just moved that to 3 years, so that only happens every 3 years. Next slide. So the question becomes, and this is an important thing for me, is please take a look at what this says about, is certification right for me? Number one thing that I said was make sure that your clients, your target audience, who you're looking to sell your products or service to for us is really corporate America, other business owners, or possibly the federal government, right? You want to make sure that. You also want to make sure that your company wants more access to opportunities and services. You want to validate to corporations and government entities and other buying entities that you're women-owned. We are in. Women-owned businesses are in. We are in, we are in. You want folks to know that your business is women-owned, right? And when you talk to someone about your products and services, it's not necessarily a differentiator, but it is definitely important when you're talking to them about that at this point in time. You have access to programs that can give you knowledge and skills to improve your outcomes, right? Get ready for those loans that we heard about earlier. Get ready for those investments, grow in your business. And then, of course, you like building relationships because nobody does business with anybody they don't know. And we give you those opportunities so that you can build those relationships with our corporate partners, with each other, so that you can grow your business. On the bottom are the things that aren't going to happen. Just because you get certified, you are not guaranteed a contract. It's sort of like a gym membership. You go join a gym. Unless you go, nothing happens, right? We provide opportunities for you to network, for you to connect, for you to learn, for you to be visible so folks know who you are. We provide those opportunities locally, and we provide those opportunities nationally for you to get involved. But it's definitely not going to guarantee you a contract, although I've heard recently some very amazing stories about contracts that are happening. And of course, if you don't meet the standards, don't even start. WeBank.org, so WBENC.org, or stop by our table outside. There's a fact sheet that we can provide you so that you can look at the eligibility, you can look at the standards, and you can look at all of the documents that are needed for your process. Next slide. Next slide, I already talked about that really. And so to apply for the certification, you would go to WeBank.org. WeBank is the national organization that owns the certification. The 14 regional partners deliver the certification locally. That is why once you're certified, you are certified nationally, because it's the same certification process for all of our businesses. Next slide. This just tells you the process. Determine if you're eligible. That's for you to read the information. Compile your required documentation first before you get started. Complete your online application. Once your application is complete, then our timer starts, and we do it within 90 days. Usually it's 60, but 90 days is what we give ourselves. Once you put your application into the system, which is a secure database, then you will also be assigned a person inside who can answer questions and talk to you about the application process. We actually do a review and a site visit, right? We have a certification team on site that looks at your documentation. We have a certification committee that reviews all of your documentation and determines if you should be certified. We do have a 4% denial rate, so it's not pro forma that it's just going to happen. And then we actually come and talk to you. We come and talk to you at your place of business. Yes, if you work from home, that's okay. But we come and talk to you so that we can ask you the questions to ensure the expertise, and then the final certification determination happens, and hopefully, 96% of the time, you're in. Next. So if you're ready to get certified, if you want to think about getting certified, every month we also have a how and why to get certified. Vanessa Foster is our certification specialist, and she conducts a webinar every single month. Also stop by the table. We have a certification manager actually here today because Vanessa's on vacation, and you can talk to Dina or Monica at our table today about certification, about the WeBank network, and about the benefits that exist. So thank you.